From Free Cal. On this video, let's talk about how to buy an Audi car with mutual funds. No, I'm not joking. We are going to talk about how to buy an Audi car and set that as a financial goal and discuss what kind of mutual funds you'd use to buy that. Of course, this whole video is essentially aimed to talk about how to define a financial goal and from the start to finish to choosing the product and so on. So one of my favorite quotes is, "A dream is just a dream, a goal is a dream with a plan and a deadline," said by Harvey Mackay, who is a businessman and a syndicate news writer. So what does this actually mean? That's what we're going to find out. I see so many people who say that I do not have a specific goal in mind. I just want to invest. I just want to invest for wealth creation. Well, this video is essentially meant for them. I had talked about setting a financial goal part 1. This video can serve as the part 2 for that goal. You can see that in the Free Cal archives. So I want to discuss how having a clear goal in mind makes money management and product selection so much more easier, and especially for people who are saying something like that. So I want an Audi car. This is not a goal. This is a dream, right? Now, I want an Audi Q5. This is also a dream. It's a slightly more specific dream, but it's not a goal, right? So, how do we change a dream to an actual financial goal? Of course, Audi car is just being used as an example here, right? Don't push too much into how to buy the car and so on. Let's not push the analogy too much. This is just an analogy of something that you want and how you must plan for it. So the first question to ask is, what does it cost today? So Audi A5, there are 3-4 models in A5 itself, and I think from what I just checked roughly, I think the lowest end Q5 will cost about 60 lakhs. Let's assume that you have 30 lakhs to spare, right? In such goals, and especially if you want such a luxury car in 5 years, you must have some capital to begin with. You cannot say I have zero and I want to buy an Audi car in 5 years. That makes it so much more difficult. So for such goals where it's high priced and short term, you must have some capital to start with. Of course, for retirement, goals like retirement and child's education, you can say I have nothing to start with. I want to plan for my retirement 30 years away, or my child's education 15 years away. That's perfectly fine. But for goals like this, short-term goals, you must have some capital in hand. Otherwise, it would not be possible to achieve it. So let's redefine. I want an Audi Q5 in 5 years. So from I want an Audi Q5 to I want an Audi Q5 in 5 years. So that's that's a slightly more. Now you have a dream with a deadline. So the question is, what would it cost in 5 years? Today it's costing about 60 lakhs. And if I take about 10% inflation, I don't know the actual inflation in automobile prices. It could also decrease, because there is typically every 6 months I hear I read a newspaper article saying there's pressure on the automobile sector. So I don't know how these prices change. I also apologies about using the car example, because I've never driven a car. I do not own a car. I don't know how to drive a car. So this is some model that I saw some time back. So I'm just sticking with it. So 60 lakhs multiplied by 1 plus 10% to the power 5. This is the standard compound interest equation. To the power 5 means you are multiplying that 60 into by 1 plus 10% 5 times. So that gives you about 96 lakhs. So approximately anywhere between 90 to 1 crore will be the cost of an Audi Q5 in 5 years, roughly. So how do we handle this? You have 30 lakhs. You want an Audi Q5. That's your dream. Let's not discuss whether it is necessary to have such a dream and so on. That's not our. Let's not get into that kind of moral policing here. So 96 lakhs is necessary to buy an Audi Q5 in 5 years. Now look at how we have changed the statement of the dream from I want an Audi to we now have a target corpus. We need this much money to buy this kind of product or a service after this much time. Now, it's much more defined, but it's still not a financial goal. We need to have a little more planning put into it. So how are we going to handle getting 96 lakhs after 5 years? Where should we invest? The first question should be asset allocation. That is, how much should I invest in where? In which asset class? Should I invest in equity at all? Should I have some fixed income exposure? How much in equity exposure? How much in fixed income exposure? This is very specific to the goal in mind. For an important goal, so let's say in 5 years, my son will finish college, or he will come to, let's say, 8th standard. In 5 years, I want to put him on a JEE coaching, and for that coaching, I need this much money. That's a very important goal, because you cannot postpone that JEE coaching or college education goal, or even marriage goal, or whatever. Some goals that have to be done, that is, the deadline is mandatory, then it's only 5 years, it's better not to have any equity exposure and play it safe. I have just made a video on what's long term and what is short term. I have discussed why you should not have equity exposure for short durations like 5 years. But this is, even though this is 5 years, this is a 5-year goal, the end thing is only a car. It's only a luxury car, right? It's possible that I will be driving a car today, or I can, even if I'm not driving a car, I can postpone this purchase by a few years. So this is not important. So when it is not so important, and well, I can take a little chance with it. So I can have, for this kind of a goal which is optional, I can take a chance with some equity, or even significant equity. But the kind of asset allocation that you choose, the kind of products that you choose, depend extremely on the nature of the goal. If this was JEE training package, or that school where you have to join and they teach you everything from morning till night and so on, that kind of goal is very important. If that's what I want, I want my son to clear JEE. I want my son to clear JEE, but not from such schools. If that is the goal, it's mandatory, it's important, then I will not have equity exposure. But since it is just a car, maybe it's just a holiday or something like that, then it's okay to gamble with it. So what you can do is, there are two choices. One is you can play it a little safe by choosing a balanced advantage fund, ICICI balanced advantage, or Motilal Oswal dynamic advantage, or IDFC as a dynamic advantage fund, DSP as a dynamic asset allocation fund. So the equity exposure will be changed according to market conditions. So you can expect about anywhere between 8 to 10% if you are lucky from such funds. Or you can choose an aggressive hybrid fund like ICICI equity and debt, HDFC hybrid fund, or HDFC balanced as it is called, and so on. You can choose such funds too. So for this goal, that's the asset allocation. So I can have let's say 30% of bonds, 70% of equity, because it's not an important goal, or I can have a tactically varying equity exposure. Of course, for long-term goals, I will recommend that you consider these kind of investments as pure equity, but in this case, you can make a little exception. So let's say we take this 30 lakhs and invest it for 5 years in about 9% post-tax return from either an aggressive hybrid fund or a balanced advantage fund. It will grow up to about 46 lakhs. It will grow to 46 lakhs. And let us assume that you can invest 40,000 a month for this goal alone. For other goals, you have to invest more money, but for this goal alone, you can invest 40,000 a month. It's only an assumption. If you want an Audi Q5, you must spend money for it, right? And let's say you are going to invest this 40,000 a month, again in the same aggressive hybrid or balanced advantage fund, you are expecting 9% post-tax. This systematic investment will grow to about 28 lakhs if it gives you 9% return, if it gives you. But you are taking that chance because, it's a gamble, right? But you can live without an Audi Q5 for a couple of more years if there are problems, market crashes and so on. So risk management is kind of takes a back seat here because it's an optional goal and you want to take that chance. So please recognize there are no set rules like this. In personal finance, you have to take every requirement and define choices according to that. So if you do that, if you add this 46 and 28, you will still be about 22 lakhs short of the goal after 5 years. How are you going to handle this? If you still want an Audi Q5 after 5 years, and even if you manage to be just only 22 lakhs short, you can take a loan. You can take a car loan, a personal loan, whatever loan. You can take a loan or borrow from your relatives and buy the Q5. those are things that you can handle. Of course, you'll still be short, but that's it. That's the plan you can do for now. You cannot project too much into what will happen after 5 years. It is possible that after 5 years, the price may have come down by 20 lakhs. It is possible after 5 years, you don't feel like buying an Audi Q5, you can buy a less expensive car. Your attitudes may change. So don't worry too much about how rules will be in future, how your desires will be in future, and so on. Plan with the information that you have, and just leave it at that. We'll take things as they come. So now we have that financial goal defined. 96 lakh is necessary to buy an Audi Q5 in 5 years. In order to achieve this, 30 lakhs will be invested as a lump sum and 40,000 a month will be invested with a return expectation of anywhere between 9 to 10% post-tax annualized return in a balanced advantage fund or an aggressive hybrid fund. This is the complete financial goal statement from from the dream to the strategy. And this is how you should define. You should have this kind of a statement written down for your retirement, for your child's education, for every one of your goals, for your foreign trips, for your business goals, whatever it is. This is how you convert a dream. All of us have dreams. This is how you convert a dream to an actual financial goal. Now, should I just keep investing for 5 years and redeem, not reduce equity exposure gradually and so on? Yes, for this goal, yes, because it's just a car. You can just keep investing for 5 years and let's see what happens. Maybe there will be a crash and you lose money. Then you will have to postpone your goal or settle for a less expensive car, or you may get more than, or in the third year itself you will get bumper returns. Then you will pull out and then you can buy the car third year out. Anything is possible, but this is a flexible goal, so you don't have to worry about rebalancing too much, and unless there is a huge return or a huge loss, you can just keep investing. Instead of these aggressive hybrid funds, can I use a debt fund or a arbitrage fund? Yes, you can. If you have a slightly more important goal, like I said, the JEE education, or maybe a business that you want to start, or a restaurant that you want to start, or you promised your wife that you will take the whole family for an international tour after 3 years or 4 years, whatever, you cannot disappoint the family. So you can choose a less risky option like a debt mutual fund or an arbitrage mutual fund. And when I say how to buy an Audi car with a mutual fund, you can even do it with fixed deposit. You can do it with direct equity also. If you understand how to use how to buy stocks yourself, you can use that also. So you can do that as well. There's no need to use only mutual funds. I'm just giving you an example. That's all. So you can use debt funds or arbitrage funds. I think I have a video on this. I'll make one more. Many people have asked me to do it. I will do that. So you can use less volatile funds like this for such a goal, or for this goal also, but you have to invest a little more, or you can use it for more important goals. Why should I use mutual funds? You don't have to use mutual funds. I just explained that. You can use stocks for this kind of goals, or use safe instruments like fixed deposits and recurring deposits for slightly more important goals. Of course, the return expectation will be lower because you already know the return in advance. Then after tax, you'll have to consider what will be the corpus you get and adjust the amount that you have to invest. That's always the problem. You can do all these calculations, but finally the amount you invest should be manageable. What if it is a more important goal? That's again, I've answered that part. So if it's a more important goal, you have to reduce the risk, and you have to adjust the kind of instruments that you use less volatile instruments. If it's a 7-year goal, even if it is more important, you can take a little bit of equity exposure, at least for the first initial years and so on. So you have to plan these and so on. So case by case. My advice is, if the whole process sounds difficult to you, download the FreeFinCal Robo Advisory template, punch in your numbers, and it will tell you what kind of products to use, what is the asset allocation that you need, how to change these asset allocation with time, should you change it, and so on. It will tell you whether you are ready to retire, how good is your retirement corpus, and so on. It will give you all those answers. So you can download that from FreeFinCal, and that's what I wanted to say about setting a financial goal from start to finish. Catch you in another video. Bye bye.